We're part of Breaking the Silence, and our goal is to promote breaking the stigma, hence our name, Breaking the Silence, of mental health and mental illness. So we like to reiterate that just like any other part of the body, the brains get sick too. They're a 3-pound organ, and they can get sick just like any other part of the body. Teens a lot of times go to teens for help. They spend most of their time with their peers, and they may be the first ones to recognize that their friend or peer may have a mental disorder or have symptoms of mental health problems. So it's really important to equip these teens so that they know what they can do, and they can go to an adult and they know how to handle the situation properly.
All right, our 4 main points. Brains get sick too. Mental illness is a physical illness that affects the most complex organ, which is the brain. It's a stigma that keeps us from talking about it. Early treatment is important, and support is critical.
Negative stereotypes do harm. They hurt people's feelings, they attack confidence, all which prevents people from seeking help. The great majority of people with mental illness are violent. True or false? False, yeah, that's correct. You guys did. What we push in our curriculum is that mental health and mental illnesses are a disorder of the brain. They affect you biologically. So just like heart disease affects the heart and diabetes affects the pancreas and things like that, it's kind of the same situation. There should be no stigma.
The suicide rate for people with a mental illness is 15%, which means the majority of people living with a mental illness will not die by suicide.
However, those who do die by suicide, over 90% of them had undiagnosable mental illness. So it's just important. There's absolutely signs that you should take as a red flag. If they tell you they're gonna hurt themselves, or if they're gonna hurt someone else, or if they've expressed that they don't wanna be here anymore, or they have suicidal ideations, then you should go right to a trusted adult.
If they say, don't tell anybody, I don't wanna have the world knowing, the world doesn't need to know, but someone does to get them help. And they may be mad at you, they may be like, hey, I told you not to tell. It's so important that someone know, because it will help them in the long run, and they will thank you. So if it's impacting your life, if it's making things worse, like if you can't pay attention in school or to anything else, that's a problem. Or if you feel so low you can't get out of bed, that's a problem. So we try to say it's all right, and here's how to move forward.
Someone who watches the presentation that is afraid that a friend of theirs or a family member of theirs has a mental illness, they now have the ability to give them resources or to give them information.
So we actually have a suicide awareness activity where we ask people what their stressors are, and then at the end of the activity we ask, how can you alleviate this stress? It's just important to realize a lot of times when people die by suicide, people think that it was one event that caused them to do it, like their boyfriend or girlfriend broke up with them or something tragic happened, so that's why people think that they did it, but it's a buildup of things, so it's just important to realize that. So I'm gonna have you guys call it stressors, and each time they call it a stressor, you're just gonna pour a pretty good amount of water into his pitcher. So what are some things that stress you out?
Homework.
Homework, yeah, exactly. So pour a good amount of there. Keep going. What are something else that stresses you guys out?
Relationships.
Relationships, yeah, relationships with anyone. So, how are you feeling now? It's really important for teens to know how to relieve their stress so they can be more successful, they can do better in school, they know how to help their friends and to help themselves. People who die by suicide, they don't want to die, they just want the pain to go away, and a lot of times just by loaning a listening ear or doing something kind for them can help with that. What are some things that you can do for a stress friend? It could be anything. Go ahead, yeah.
Talk to them.
Talk to them, yeah. That's really helpful.
Spending quality time with your friends.
Yeah, spending quality time, going for a movie or coffee, yeah.
If I stay silent, I stigmatize others. If I speak up,
I am wise, brave, and strong.
I become the teacher, the educator, the leader.